Today I would like to share experience I had last week. So I was working with a client and suddenly they sent me a message. I will not say suddenly, but I was not expecting that message to reach my inbox that they don't like to or they are not interested anymore to work with me and they would like to end my contract. And the reason for that is because of my availability, and that's what I would like to discuss today in this video. So availability is something important, but it has different concept when it comes to remote work. So if you are at the office, availability is from 8 to 4 5, the working hours you should be at the office. That's what is availability in office. But when it comes to remote, it's a bit different. You have to approach it on a different way because you don't see the guys when they are working or not working, and you have to know if they are, productive or delivering work or not. So you can take decision accordingly. I would like to share experience on one of my client, which is, I will say, the bad way to handle such issue, and I would like to share the right approach to solve availability problems. So I was working before with a client. They are monitoring everything happening in your laptop. So they monitor the keystrokes, mouse clicks, and also they take screenshots, random screenshots every 10 minutes with a camera. So they picture you every 10 minutes and they take screenshots. So they see what you are doing during your duties. So you might say, okay, that's a good way to know if somebody is working or not. That's true. You are measuring the quantity, like he's in front of his laptop for 10 hours, 20 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours. You can know from such setup how many hours not he worked or not. How many hours he sit in front of his laptop and he do something, okay? So for the company or the client to solve the issue, like how many hours he work or not sit in front of his laptop, so they start to use AI agents to analyze the data and see if they are doing real work or not, and they are relying a lot on matrices, counts, numbers, which is it was not accurate somehow for a simple reason because as human we have too much restriction, doesn't consider really the human nature. As when we have too much restrictions, we start to think how to break break those restrictions. So it turned to be like, how can I fake the AI? How can I do whatever I want and fix the AI and at the same time receive salary? Because the only count numbers, then let me think how I can get my salary by counting numbers. But there is no like thoughts or culture or cement that like, okay, let's deliver value, let's do what is good for the company, and let's work as a team and so on. Those concepts, they were not in the company culture, and the whole like company culture was, let's count numbers, let's count hours, let's just increase the matrix, but not really delivering value. And what's wrong with that? The thing is, this is not sustainable. This is not a sustainable growth. So you can count number. It's like bringing a lot of views on YouTube and you don't have strategy. Like, how are you going to scale? How are you going to grow? How am I supposed to move from 1 subscribe to 1 million subscribe? I'm just counting numbers, counting views, and once I'm running out of money, then there is no any sustaining income or growth. I mean, you literally add no value. So, yeah, you are counting numbers, but there is no value behind that number. There's just a number with no sustainable value, with no value at all. Okay, so what is the better approach to fix availability issue? So the better approach to fix the availability issue is not really to mention availability as a concern or to handle availability directly, that okay, you must be available from this time to that time and so on. This doesn't work on remote work. And the better way to handle things is actually to start to question about the deliverables and why the deliverables doesn't match the expectations. And then you start to dig in and understand the real reasons behind low deliverable or velocity, low velocity, and solve those issues from the root. So you should not have a problem if somebody work only 5 minutes per day, as long as the targets have already fulfilled. And if our velocity is good, we start to increase the target. So let's say that we target 10 features this sprint. So if we target 10 feature and 10 feature and then we only able to deliver 5, then we start to think how to increase from 5 to 10. And if we are targeting 10 and we succeed, like we target 11, 12, then we start to think, okay, now our matrix is 12, how to sustain this matrix, how to go on with the same matrix, or how to increase, how even to reach 15 or above. Okay, so you start to think in that way. And if there is a concern about availability, you should not approach it on a way that uh, holding one-on-one meetings or reaching out, okay, where have you been, or why you are not available, or having a meeting that I have a concern about your availability or so ever, or you mention it even as a discussion. That is not the way to handle such issue situation. This just damaging the connection between you and as a manager and between somebody whom you are leading. This is not the right way to do things. You should guess. What you should do is guess why this person velocity is low. You should guess. You should think, okay, what make this person have a high performance in the past, now he don't, or what make this person have a continuous low velocity. And then you start to have a discussion around that. The discussion is, okay, how can I help you to increase your velocity? Are you struggling on something? And you start to approach the problem that way. I'm sure this is not an easy thing to do. It requires somebody with real experience on field to solve problems and have that mindset that we need to solve problems. We need to fix issues. We are not on a mindset for blaming and attacking without finding a solution. And this doesn't mean that some guys are really don't they are not interested in work, they don't want to work and they just want to collect their salary. But actually with this pressure of we need to deliver, what are the issues, and uh, uh, remove all the excuses and fix all the problems, they will not have any excuse until like or any way to do things except working. And you have to understand that us as a human and our nature is we like to work, we love to work. Nobody like free lunch. Uh, Even you can see like somebody like Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, uh, or Elon Musk, they have a lot of money. What do they work? It's about adding value to yourself and the community and the people around you and the humanity in general. That's a human nature. It's not them. It's a human nature. And somebody don't have such mindset, he have a problem. He have an issue. There is psychological issue, physical issue. There is this is not a normal human behavior. Normal human behavior, everybody like to work and add value. If you don't have a value, if you don't add value, you will be on a depression. It's a big it's a big deal for a human to have value. Everybody. You find some guys, they woke up at 8 a.m. and they go to work very hard for a little money, but they are so happy because they are adding value. So you have to understand this is a human nature. They like to work, but you have to make or create the environment for them to work and be productive. And this should be the mindset to solve that problem. Definitely, you can reach to a point where, okay, this guy must be removed, must be eliminated. He's affecting the team in general and he's affecting the delivery. He's not adding value. He's not, okay, we reach out to him. He's not responding. and we had give him a warning. We try our best to solve his problem, and he's not cooperating, and he's insisting on the behavior. Then we start thinking, okay, removing him is better than keeping him. But that should not be the first option at all, because people getting in, out, this affect the performance for the whole organization, and it's not sustainable. You find at the end the organization doesn't have somebody who's expert on the product or subject expert, and the productivity for the whole team is bad. Everybody is new, and nobody knows about the history, and until they start to their velocity start to be somehow stable, they talk 6 months, 1 year. You find at the end there is no result. There is 10 employees, but they are not adding any value. Then you start to swap. Too much swapping cause problems. Plus the loyalty, and they are not encouraged. They will leave and go to other options. There's a lot of problems involved in such. You might claim, okay, for example, US is the biggest company in the world. Sorry, biggest country in the world. They have the biggest companies in the world, and they have that mindset. Yeah, it might be true. Like there is a lot of swabbing, but it, to build a team, there is stages to build the team, and to have a sustainable income, and you have a sustainable productivity. You really have to form that team and be patient until the team is formed correctly. And check the biggest company. I will claim that the reason why Microsoft win on the AI battle is because of that mindset. Microsoft have that mindset of building a team, growing up the company, and they have better culture than other companies, and that's how they win the AI race. So it's a trade-off after all, but you have to consider that uh, swapping people is not the best option. It is an option, but should not be the first. You should not do that unless you really have a strong reason. What you should do is focusing on solving problems, focusing in solving issues, regardless of the attitude or mindset or what's going on the other person's side. You should not assume that he don't want to work. He's bad guy. That mindset doesn't work. You should assume he have a problem, and we are here to cooperate. We are a team working together, and never claim or come up with that availability issue. Even in that, don't even use the word that I have a concern about availability or your availability or our. Don't even come close to that area. This have a very bad negative effect, and it say that you are a bad leader. Literally, you are a bad leader. You fail to make me as an individual or a contributor, that you fail to make me motivated, you fail to solve my problems, and then you blame me now. That's the mindset. So that's something I would like to share. It's an experience I had. Uh, by the way, for that client, I was available. I was around and I was working. I will say that it's a bad decision. He did not even, the manager did not even warn, did not give me time to solve the problem, or he did not even try to solve the issue. He decided to choose the easy path, the fastest one, but the one which is not, doesn't build up on the long term. It's not sustainable in the long term. So I hope that video is useful. And again, I'm not discouraging to remove guys, or that's very okay. But you have to focus more on solving problems. You have to focus more on increasing productivity than focus on just blaming or just putting removing the problem from your plate to other people's plate and think that I'm doing the right thing. That's not correct. I hope it's useful. I hope this is useful. We'll see you next time.